Everybody, welcome to 580 week 1. So this week is definitely an intro to research and to action research. One thing that I will start off by saying is that you are educators, so every day you are doing action research. You are collecting data about your students. You are making decisions about what to do in your classroom based on evidence, based on stuff that you collect from your students. So when you hear that big term action research, just know that you're doing it and that there are kind of specific protocols for what that is going to look like in 605. So again, welcome to the Capstone experience. As you go through, this is the proposal course where you're going to be developing a proposal for your research. So as we go through that, kind of think about that as the lens. Hopefully you've taken a look at the course at a glance. Again, that's in the sidebar, written in all caps. So this week, there is not an assignment due at the end of this week. We do have our discussion in the forum. So it's going to be, kind of your understandings about action research. As always, please have your initial post by Thursday, 2 thoughtful replies by Sunday at midnight. Both of those are by 11:59 p.m. And then the typical week 1 thing. A lot of you know each other, but there may be some people that don't. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your current educational setting, and please include a picture so that we can see each other. For me, it makes it so much more real when I'm able to see the people, and it's not just a name. And then you're going to be in this forum reflecting on yourself as an educator and about your core educational values. And then talk about maybe a problem or a concern or kind of a friction point or a pain point around something you do in your classroom. And then we're going to be looking at kind of the best practices and what you can do with that moving forward. And then one thing you want to start keeping in your head as we start to develop groups, trying to find interests around others, and I'll be reading through these to see possible ways, possible interventions that might fit together. And as we have these groups, I'll be looking to develop heterogeneous groups. There is an example, so if you want to just kind of pause and be like, what are we doing? If you click on Capstone Resources, it's right below Course at a Glance. It gives you lots of templates, gives you the rubrics, gives you lots and lots of links, and at the very, very bottom, after you click on Capstone Resources, it's way above all the week by week stuff. There is a sample project, and I think that if you just click through this, you'd be like, oh, okay, I get what we're going to be doing. The reason I bring it up right now is because it's such a good example of a heterogeneous group. The group that put this together, if I can find it in my notes real quick, the PE group, was it P period? Let's see if we got it. No, PE group. Oh yeah. So they were it was an elementary teacher and a high school teacher, and one was in LA and one was in Chicago, right? So I know that kind of a default way would be like, oh, we teach the same grade, or we're really close, so we can meet in person. And there's definitely value in this, but this example that you're going to see around this PE project that they did, the capstone example you have around heart rate monitors, it was like separate states, completely different grade levels, and just by I think having that diverse experience really enriched what the project ended up being. So that's the example we have to share with you, and then take a look at that, and hopefully that'll make a lot more sense. There are a lot of readings and just kind of getting yourself acclimated to the course this week. Let's see. One of them is the What Works Clearinghouse, and that's one of those where you look at it and you're like, I don't really get it, and you click on it and you're like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. What this website does is they review existing research on education, right? And so their goal is to take all that research and provide educators like actually sound information so that educators can make evidence-based decisions. So it's not just, oh, I read a blog post, that's great, and actually being able to look at the research and make a decision in your classroom that's evidence-based and that has gone through the vetting that research does go through. That's what this website does, and yeah, I mean it's filtered based on teacher excellence, a bit by topic with math or science or literacy. It looks at behavior. It looks at early childhood education. It looks at post secondary, all kinds of really good stuff. So I encourage you to spend some time on the What Works Clearinghouse. Also, be sure and take a look at the course at a glance to figure out kind of what's coming up ahead of time. Hopefully, much earlier, you completed that NIH training. That was an assignment that was due a while ago. So you're going to actually submit that as an individual inside of Blackboard for this course for 580. So if you did that and still have that, you're going to submit that, and that should be a pretty easy thing for the assignment that's due at the end of week 2. Week 2 starts to get pretty crazy, so I'd highly encourage you to start off and get that submitted this week, just kind of as soon as you can. So what else? There's a lot to do. We're going to cover a lot of this. We meet weeks 1, 3, 5, and 8 synchronously on Tuesdays. Each time, please sign up for which time slot you want. It'll be 6 to 7:30 or 7:30 to 9. We're going to hit a bit more of the details and the nuts and bolts of the course in that. But yeah, I think that's most of what we need to cover right now. Just, this is a fast-paced class, so, buckle up. If one thing that you will look at that I would definitely encourage you to read before Tuesday is the Capstone Experience Handbook, 21 pages, but also includes like the title page and the table of contents. That one plus the example of the PE course should give you a pretty good understanding of where we're headed in this course. So if you have questions, jot those down. We will chat about them Tuesday when we meet synchronously. If you've not done this in a while or you're not sure quite where to go, on week 1, you can click on week 1, live virtual synchronous meeting. Also in the sidebar under course items, you have discussion, submit assignment, and then live virtual sessions. You can also get to it that way. So that's how you will join us. If you have a new computer, if you recently updated something, try and click on that ahead of time to make sure you've downloaded what you need to download and given permission for what you need to give permission for, so we're able to hop up and have a productive meeting. So look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, and happy week 1, everybody.